So we've been living in Spain for about 8 weeks, and what we have slowly been figuring out are things like how not to order coffee, how not to shop for fruit, and how not to talk about naps unless you want to make half the internet really mad at you.
Welcome to Closer to Happy. I'm Cheryl.
I'm Cliff.
We recently moved to Spain to find a more balanced life, and here we are. So today we're sharing a list of what not to do in Spain based on real-life lessons, kind corrections from locals, and deeply passionate YouTube comments.
So first, do not expect to eat dinner before 8 p.m. We made this mistake once where we went to a restaurant to eat at 6:30, and the only people in there were a handful of very confused Germans and us, and a waiter who looked at us like we were 12 hours early. We got the hint.
We definitely did. Now we eat at a regular time like everybody else.
A regular time, like don't show up before 8:30 or 9, I'm telling you.
But
now, 9:30 is normal here, and that's good. That's a sweet spot for us.
Yeah, 9:30.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't assume Spain is one thing. We said something about Spain does XYZ and really got roasted when in fact Spain is 17 autonomous regions. Everyone's got their own customs and culture, and in some cases language, definitely dialects we're learning.
Yeah.
So do not make the mistake of lumping everybody in all together. They don't like that.
They also have a lot of pride in their country, and the area that they're from means a lot to them. And we're fascinated by this, the fact that there's 17 different regions. We want to actually go and explore those in the next year or so. That's one of our goals from this, because we didn't know that. And I think it's fascinating to find out what the difference is. Food, religion, and everything. So we said siestas were a thing, and we stand corrected because the internet disagreed with that.
They strongly disagreed with that.
What we have found out is that there are some people who say, absolutely, siestas happen, and I take them. And then other people who have said, we haven't done that in decades. So we don't really know what's right or what's real about it. And we're cool either way, but we just wanted to say this is an unknown for us.
Yeah, but we do find smaller stores, little tiendas, things like that, might be closed in the afternoon between 2 and 4. Again, there are some people who were really offended by the idea of that, but in fact, we've seen it a lot. And I think that people are mostly taking that time to go and eat lunch, feed their families.
Run errands, do things like
errands.
that.
Yeah, which is very civilized.
Yeah.
I don't know, make of it what you will, but we will never say that siestas are a thing again.
But just for the record, I am pro siesta. I really am. I think
super
it's a really good idea.
Totally pro siesta.
Maybe we should bring it back. If it's gone, we're going to bring it back.
We're bringing siestas back.
Don't forget to say buenos dias or hola when you walk into a store. Whenever you meet somebody, greeting them is what you do here. And it's really the only right way to do it anyway, but you have to remember to do that because I'm from the East Coast. So I don't talk to anybody.
But I'm from the West Coast and I talk to everybody all the time. And so this is completely natural to me. But if you walk into a store and you don't say hello or greet somebody, in a respectful, kind way, like some people.
I'm respectful. I just don't think they want to talk to me. I don't assume they want to talk to me.
Yeah. Anyway, it's rude. But if you do that, like some people, then they might not be as receptive or helpful as you'd like them to be.
She does have people treat her better than they treat me.
Rightfully so.
Don't try to do anything bureaucratic in August. It's like LA in a snowstorm. Everyone pretends everything's working, but it's really not. You just have to know that going into it. If you have something you have to do at a bank or a city hall and it has to happen in August, you better do it in July.
Yeah, or June, maybe June to be safe. We tried to schedule something in August and they said, no, if you can't get an appointment in June, they're gone until September, which was a big shock for us, but you know what? We'll deal.
Again, this is the pace of living here, and I kind of like that. I mean, it's better than being open 24/7, like in America, like every business is, especially if you're working at that business, because that's hard.
Plus, we'll probably just all be on the beach together anyway.
Good point.
So here's something that I think is a real bone of contention, understandably for locals, and that's assuming that everybody's going to speak English to you. And that's not the case, although, as we've said, we found here in Marbella, almost everybody we come across does or can at least speak some. And we try really hard to speak in Spanish as much as possible, but it is a beautiful, humbling thing to try to communicate in our Spanish, but we're working on it.
I ordered 2 coffees once, and I actually asked the waiter for 2 coffees and if I could milk the table. So you learn from these mistakes, and then you just, have to think before you talk.
In an earlier video, we said that Spain was very religious. Don't do that. Definitely don't do that. People did not like that. As it turns out, Spain is actually one of the most secular countries in Europe. And people didn't like it when we said that it was a religious country.
What threw us off were all the festivals and the religious holidays and the parades. And there are so many things that are part of the culture that had an origin in a religion, but are really now just part of the culture. And we sort of confuse that. So our bad.
When you go to the mercado, do not just walk up to the fruit and start feeling it or grabbing it or looking for bags to put it in yourself. Just don't do that. You will be vaporized by the abuela who works there. I have found this out the hard way. She knows exactly the best fruit for when you want to eat it and what your heart deserves and needs, but don't try to get it for yourself.
Yeah, I've made that mistake too, but they are masters at knowing when something's going to be ready. So best to leave the experts to that.
Absolutely.
Do not expect fast restaurant service. The waiter's not ignoring you. They're respecting your peace. They're actually leaving you to enjoy your meal and talk to your friends. And they don't rush you out. They don't bring a check automatically. You have to ask for it, and sometimes multiple times. And I know this is a really hard thing for Americans to get used to, but they are not there to push you out of the restaurant because they were getting turnover with tips. They want you to enjoy yourself. And that's actually a really nice thing.
We love it.
We do love it.
We love it.
But you just can't be in a hurry and squeeze a lunch in.
No. Well, I mean, you can maybe once in a while, but not mostly.
It's meant to be a 4-act play, not just a grab and run.
So don't use the informal TU too soon when you first meet somebody, especially if you're talking to someone older than you, which there are not that many of them.
Yeah, both those people, you shouldn't do that.
Be formal with them. Be much more formal with them. We are, as Americans, tend to be a lot more casual than Spanish people tend to be. And even though that's changing a lot, we know it's still good to be polite. So when we meet someone new, we use the more formal usted.
Usted.
Yeah.
I practice that with the dogs that we walk. When I first meet them, they really appreciate it.
Usted era buen perro.
We're still learning, we're still loving it, and we really want to find out all these nuances about how to exist here in Spain, because we're here for the long haul, and we want to figure all this out. So,
tell us some of your biggest mistakes so we don't feel so bad in Spain, or make some suggestions for things we may have missed. We know you're going to.
yes. Thank you in advance. Stay tuned. We're going to do another video on how to integrate into Spanish life. And we've been learning a lot about this, and we'll share what we've learned.
Yep.
Okay?
So if this video was helpful, please like and subscribe. It definitely helps us. And we'll see you next time.
Ciao.
Ciao.